Call the Development Review Board to order,
Done before we start.
July 6, 2021.
Okay, everybody, we have, normally we start with the minutes, but we have two new board members tonight, so I'm going to ask, well, I'm going to go ahead and introduce them, and then I'm going to ask everyone, all the other board members, to introduce themselves. It's good for our public to do at least once a year or so, and for our new board members. So first we have Catherine Briers, next to Jane down there, new member. Welcome, Catherine. And then we have Robert Ebert. A lot of people will know Robert from the Planning Commission and other things, so he's been around. And Kat actually works for the Bennington County Regional Commission, so she brings a lot of knowledge. And Robert's been working on the Planning Commission for a while, so he's very familiar with the regulations as well. So it's nice to have folks ready to hit the ground running. So welcome, everybody. And then I'll start with Jane. Maybe we can introduce ourselves to the public and to the new board members.
Oh, I'm Jen Radalki. I live out on the West End.
Good.
I'm Charles Kokoris.
Ron Alderman.
Bill Barney.
All right.
You just introduced me.
Robert's already been introduced.
Charles Kopp.
Charles is our vice chair, and Dan Mellenberg is our chair, but he's not here this evening. So Charles will be running the meeting as vice chair. First item on our agenda are the minutes from our last meeting. So it would be, if anyone would like to, they could make a motion to approve.
So moved.
Charles moves, and we'll say Ron seconded. All in favor? That's unanimous, with Robert abstaining.
Yes.
And Catherine abstaining because they weren't at the last meeting. Okay. Next item on our agenda is the reading of the witness oath. We ask everyone who speaks to the board this evening to sign in at the lectern before they speak, and it includes the following oath statement. I solemnly swear or affirm under the pains and penalty of perjury that the statements I make, testimony I give, and other evidence I submit to the board at the board's public hearing held on this date shall be true and correct to the best of my knowledge. And again, we ask folks to sign in with that oath at the lectern before they speak to the board this evening. Next item on our agenda is disclosure of any ex parte communications or conflicts of interest regarding the matter before the board this evening.
Anybody have any? Nope, don't see any.
Thank you. All right, we have one hearing this evening. It's a relatively minor application. It's Kevin Lynn and Wendy Aubrey Hurst at 840 Willow Road. These folks are seeking approval for a two-lot subdivision in the RR district off of, as I mentioned, Willow Road. And David Spur, their surveyor, is here this evening to do a quick presentation of what they're proposing. David, if you could introduce yourself and let us know what they're proposing this evening.
As soon as I sign in.
Thank you.
So I'm David Spur. My company, Blaze Design, is a surveying company. I was asked to survey this property for the horse and then further subdivide it into two lots. The outside of the green line that I did is their overall property. And then this pink line here is the proposed subdivision line between lots 1 and 2. Following your rules, regulations, and census and so on, this is what I came up with, and everybody, at least up to this point, is in agreement with it. So where this is the 840 house is on Willow Road, but it's actually the big house that you can see at the top of the hill as you're going up the highway, at the start of the highway. And then this little lot 2 here is at the extension of Willow Road, or however it works out. And it's all right behind and right below where 279 goes up to the east. And it won't be visible because I just checked the contours. It's roughly 65 feet difference between where the house is and where this lot is. I won't say it won't be visible, but it's up against the road, but at the same time, it shouldn't be that visible because of that.
Anyone have any questions? Hey, Bill.
Now, is this a future building lot? Is that what it is?
Sir?
Is it a future building lot?
It could be, yes.
But there's no,
There's nothing there right now, it's all open pasture, all open land, except for the house, garage, and outbuildings that are up here around the house.
yeah, but the lot two's not
This lot
talking.
2 is nothing but open pasture and trees. It's 80% or so meadow, and then buffered a little bit on trees on 3 sides.
And Bill, just to clarify, it does have deferral language, so in other words, it doesn't have a wastewater permit yet because they haven't gotten the septic system design done. So if they do want to do a building lot there, that would be a step they'd have to take to go
Correct.
to do that. But it is, I assume the intent is that it will be a building lot at some point, once the septic system design.
Now, would they have to come back, or could just building permit just,
No, they could go, as soon as they get it, the state of Vermont has exclusive jurisdiction over septic
Right,
systems, so
right.
that's up to them. We will require them to have that system installed to the permit before we issue a certificate of occupancy, but that's the way it works in the state.
yeah.
Any other questions?
No?
What's the board's pleasure? Charles?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Second. And a motion to approve. Any talk about it, anyway? What's the board's pleasure? All in favor?
Unanimous.
Unanimous.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Unless there is any other business, this evening would be appropriate a motion to adjourn.
I've got one thing
Okay.
that I wanted to ask about. So I was looking at the rules of procedure, which I assume you sent me the most recent one. Something jumped out at me on page 6. It was item 6.9, titled Evidence. And it says, irrelevant, immaterial, or unduly repetitious evidence shall be excluded. Evidence not ordinarily admissible under the rules of evidence as applied in civil cases in Vermont Superior Court, but not precluded by statute, may be admitted if it is of the type commonly relied upon by reasonably prudent men in the conduct of their affairs. That seemed odd language to me. I was wondering what the procedure is for maybe changing the word men to people?
Very easily do that.
Does that have to be voted on?
That's a relatively, we haven't really looked at the rules of procedure for several years, and that's standard language, probably the statute at the time, whether they
Right.
changed it or not.
Well, I was just noticing that throughout the rest of the document, there are phrases, his, her, he, she, so it's obviously,
Probably
an attempt had been made to make it up to date, so
I guess probably
it just jumped out at me. And so then also in 6.10, there's something here, signed by the chair or his designee. I was wondering if that could be his or her designee.
Really changes.
So, that's all I got.
Anyone else? If not, a motion to adjourn is in order.
Motion to adjourn? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
So, seconded by Charlie.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm against it.
Thank you very much.
I'm not always this short.